The atmosphere inside AT&T Stadium in Arlington became deeply emotional during BTS's concert when Jimin appeared to notice a female army with Down syndrome standing near the very front of the audience. What happened next quickly became one of the most touching moments of the night, leaving fans in the stadium cheering and emotional. As the performance continued, Jimin seemed to recognize the fan from the front row. Instead of simply waving from the stage, he made a spontaneous decision that immediately caught everyone's attention. Jimin began moving quickly toward the edge of the stage, appearing determined to get closer to her. Then, in a moment that surprised the crowd, Jimin ran from the stage toward the front row section where the fan was standing. The sudden movement sent the audience into loud cheers, as fans realized that he was making an effort to personally acknowledge the army. The fans' reaction made the moment even more emotional. Seeing Jimin come toward her appeared to leave her overwhelmed with happiness, while those around her also reacted with excitement. For a few seconds, the massive stadium seemed to focus entirely on the special interaction between the BTS member and his fan. Rather than treating the moment like an ordinary concert greeting, Jimin appeared to make sure the fan felt seen and included. His decision to leave the usual stage routine and approach the front row created a sense of genuine connection that many fans described as unforgettable. Videos and discussions about the moment quickly attracted attention from ARMY, with fans praising Jimin for showing warmth and kindness toward someone who had clearly come to the concert hoping for a memorable experience. The interaction also reminded many viewers that small gestures from an artist can become incredibly meaningful to fans. By the end of the moment, the excitement inside AT&T Stadium had turned into something much more heartfelt. Whether it was planned or simply a spontaneous decision, Jimin's gesture toward the army became one of those concert memories that fans are likely to remember for a long time. What do you think about Jimin running toward the front row, just to make this fan feel special? The atmosphere inside AT&T Stadium in Arlington was already electric, with thousands of armies filling the venue with deafening cheers as colorful lights swept across the stadium. Music echoed through the massive arena while BTS continued their performance, creating the kind of overwhelming energy that only a BTS concert can bring. But amid all the noise and excitement, the atmosphere appeared to shift when Jimin seemed to notice someone standing near the very front of the audience. For a brief moment, Jimin appeared to focus his attention on the front row section. Rather than simply continuing with the performance, fans nearby began reacting as they noticed where he was looking, creating a sense of anticipation. What had started as another energetic concert moment suddenly felt more personal, as Jimin appeared to be trying to connect with one particular army. The female fan seemed visibly surprised when she realized that Jimin had noticed her. Her expression appeared to change from excitement to disbelief, followed by a bright smile as the moment unfolded. Surrounded by thousands of fans, she suddenly found herself at the center of an unexpected interaction with one of the BTS members she had come to see. As Jimin moved closer toward the front of the stage, the reaction around her grew even louder. The fan appeared overwhelmed with happiness, while nearby armies also erupted in cheers and raised their phones to capture the unforgettable scene. For the fan, what may have begun as an ordinary night of watching BTS perform was suddenly becoming a memory she could carry with her for years, and perhaps that was what made the moment so touching. In a stadium filled with thousands of people, Jimin appeared to make one fan feel as though she had been personally seen. The lights, music, and enormous crowd were still there, but for those few seconds, the attention seemed to center on one simple connection between Jimin and an army in the front row. As Jimin continued looking toward the front row, the people accompanying the fan appeared to notice what was happening as well. Their attention quickly shifted toward her, and they seemed to encourage her as Jimin moved closer. If captured clearly in the footage, their reactions added another emotional layer to the scene, as though they were realizing that an extraordinary moment was unfolding right in front of them. The fan appeared increasingly overwhelmed as she watched Jimin approach. Those beside her seemed to help her stay focused on the moment, while the surrounding armies reacted with excitement. The combination of her reaction and the support from the people around her made the interaction feel even more personal and heartfelt. At first, many fans may have assumed that Jimin would simply wave toward the front row before returning to the performance. After all, artists often acknowledge fans from a distance during large stadium concerts. But then, the moment took an unexpected turn. Instead of remaining in his usual position, Jimin appeared to move away from the main stage area and head toward the front row section. The crowd immediately became louder as fans realized that he was not merely waving from afar. His decision transformed what could have been a brief greeting into a much more memorable interaction. For the fan and those accompanying her, the unexpected gesture appeared to create a deeply emotional memory. What began with a simple glance from the stage suddenly became a moment that seemed to bring everyone around them together. And as the cheers echoed throughout AT&T Stadium, many armies were left wondering whether Jimin realized just how meaningful that spontaneous decision may have been for her. For that brief moment, the enormous stadium seemed to disappear, leaving only an artist and a fan sharing what appeared to be a deeply personal memory. With thousands of people surrounding them, Jimin's attention toward the army in the front row made the massive concert feel surprisingly intimate. It was no longer simply about the performance, the choreography, or the spectacular stage production, but about a human connection unfolding in front of everyone. The moment also seemed to go beyond what many fans would normally expect from a quick concert greeting. Jimin could have simply waved from the stage and continued performing, but his apparent decision to move closer made the interaction feel more spontaneous. Rather than focusing only on the spectacle of the concert, the moment highlighted how a small gesture from an artist can carry enormous emotional meaning for one devoted fan. Around them, the reaction from ARMY appeared to change almost instantly. Loud concert cheers turned into emotional screams as fans realized that Jimin was paying special attention to someone in the front row. Some fans appeared to raise their phones to capture the unexpected interaction, while others simply watched and cheered as the touching scene unfolded. The atmosphere became warmer as nearby armies reacted to the fans' apparent happiness. Instead of jealousy or disappointment, the surrounding crowd seemed to celebrate the moment with her, creating a powerful sense of togetherness. For those watching from nearby, witnessing another fan experience such a special interaction appeared to become part of their own concert memory. And perhaps that is why the moment resonated so strongly. In a stadium filled with thousands of people, one simple gesture appeared to make a single army feel noticed and valued. Whether planned or completely spontaneous, the interaction became a reminder that sometimes the most unforgettable concert moments are not the biggest performances, but the quiet human connections that happen between an artist and a fan. As the emotional moment continued, the excitement inside AT&T Stadium seemed to give way to something much more heartfelt. For the fan, being noticed by Jimin appeared to turn an already unforgettable BTS concert into a deeply personal memory. Sometimes a few seconds of genuine attention can mean far more than anyone watching from the outside could ever understand. For many fans, the most unforgettable part was not simply how close Jimin came, but the message behind the gesture. Every army deserves to feel seen. In a stadium filled with thousands of people, his apparent effort to connect with one fan reminded viewers that meaningful moments do not always require grand gestures. Sometimes, a simple decision to stop, notice, and come closer can stay in someone's heart for years. The emotional reaction from the surrounding armies made the scene even more powerful. Cheers and screams filled the stadium as fans appeared to realize the significance of what was happening. Phones were raised to capture the moment, while others watched with smiles and emotional reactions, seemingly celebrating the fans' happiness as if it were their own. By the time the moment began to fade, it had already become more than just another interaction during a massive concert. It was a brief connection between an artist and a fan that appeared to remind everyone watching why live performances can be so meaningful. For that fan, the memory of Jimin noticing her and coming closer could become something she carries with her long after the Arlington concert ends. and perhaps that is what makes the moment so emotional. No matter how enormous the stadium was, Jimin's gesture appeared to make one army feel seen in a crowd of thousands. Did Jimin realize just how much that simple gesture might have meant to her, or did he simply follow his heart in one of the most touching moments of the Arlington concert?